order to show you the section pattern for a graduated bob, I've started by using a centre section. I've then come from the highest point and I've taken a section from the highest point to behind either ear. I'm then going to take my section down the middle. So that's going to come from the crown, through the occipital bone and right down to the nape area. I'm going to start with my first section, which is slightly rounded behind each ear, and that is going to be used to place in the perimeter shape of the graduated bob. So I'm going to start just by using the comb and just pull in gently from behind, just to feed the hair into the comb and decide what length I want to make my perimeter line. Starting in the middle, and then I'm just going to feed out to behind each ear. You could, if you wanted to, put a slight kind of A shape in, just depending on your client's personal choice. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to keep my line fairly horizontal, but just slightly lengthen behind each ear, and then I'm going to check my section visually and by touch to make sure both sides are the same length on either side. So I'm going to use exactly the same cutting process as I did previously, and that is because I want to start to build up some weight in this perimeter line before I start to apply my graduation. And again, just pulling the hair slightly through the comb and using the previously cut hair as my guide. You could, however, hold it and position it also in your fingers, but I prefer to cut through the comb. I find it gives me better control during the cutting process. And again, I'm going to cross check visually, and I'm going to cross check by touch to make sure both sides are nice and balanced. So now that I've achieved my perimeter line, you can see the amount of weight that I've got here. I'm now going to start applying my graduation. Okay, so I've taken my next section to start applying my graduation, and you can see I've left a veil of hair so I can see my perimeter line. I'm now going to start to apply the graduation, so I'm going to take a section, I'm going to pull it out to a 45-degree angle. I can see my cutting line, and that's what I'm going to cut to. So I'm going to start in the middle, and then I'm going to take a section to behind each ear, using exactly the same process. Pulling it out, look for my guide underneath, pull out, look for my guide underneath, when I get to the corner, I'm going to pull out, and I'm just going to let the short hair of the perimeter shape drop down, and I will have to make a slight adjustment behind this ear. So I'm going to carry on with the cutting process on the other side, taking my 45-degree angle, pulling that directly out towards me. So pull out, look for my line underneath. So just letting that short hair of that perimeter line drop down. And then again, just adjusting the shape in the perimeter. And you can see my graduation is starting to be built. So I've not cut right up into the crown there. I've left that last section because I want to make allowances for the crown if there's any awkward hair growth patterns. So I've now changed my section and pattern now that I'm finished cutting the majority of the sections at the back, and I'm now going to use a horseshoe shaped section, which I've taken right the way around the head. So you can see by looking at the perimeter of the hair where I've finished cutting. So I'm going to start by following that point up and taking a vertical section. It's nice and balanced on both sides. And I'm going to pull that out to a 45-degree angle. And you can quite clearly see the cutting line. So I can use that line to remove any hair that needs to be cut. So I'm going to carry on with the horizontal section, and I'm going to over direct just slightly onto the previously cut section. So pushing back, looking for my guide, and then just slightly pushing back onto my previous section. I'm ready to cut the final side now, and again just taking those same section and pattern. So if you work on a forward diagonal, you can cross check your graduation at the same time, making sure you don't need to make any adjustments.